Hi, and welcome to Thursday. Glad you're here. Hey, we've made it almost through another week. So, whatever is going to be the end of COVID, we're closer to it. So, just think of about it that way. It'll give you a little bit of hope anyway. Acts 14, 1 through 3. It is a funny passage of Scripture to me. Mainly because we have two of the strongest leaders in the New Testament being told by their church they have to go. Look at what happens at the end of that paragraph. The church fasts, prays, and in their prayers, the word of the prophet is confirmed. They lay hands on them. Then the story doesn't say that Paul and Barnabas left. That's what you would think. You would think the story said after everybody prayed for them, after everybody celebrated that they were being called, that they left to begin their ministry. That's not what it says. What it says is they fasted and prayed, laid hands on them, and sent them off. You get the impression that the church stood up and said, "We love you, Paul. We love you, Barnabas. Thanks for being here, but the Lord's called you, and you need to leave." It's almost as if the church did not want Paul and Barnabas to stay once they had been called. They had to go. You know, the whole thing of you following Christ is to get to the place He's created you to be. Yes, we celebrate that moment when you're born again, and there's no moment like it. But that's where you begin again, okay? That's not the end of the story. And if your only story with Jesus is the moment you were converted, you have missed so much. The point is to grow up in His ministry, to grow up in His likeness, and then be sent somewhere to continue His kingdom work. The whole point is to leave. Several years ago, there was a famous movie. It was called Failure to Launch. And it was about a young man living in his parents' home who wouldn't get out and start his life. A lot of us are hiding in the church, our mother's home, and we have failed to launch. We have failed to get the courage, the wisdom, to go talk to a neighbor about the gospel of Jesus Christ. We have failed to engage our broken world with the good news of Jesus, and that's feeding the hungry and healing the sick. On and on the list goes. We have failed to launch. The early church made sure that Paul and Barnabas left. Maybe we should have a ceremony like that. A ceremony, where we welcome you in when you're born and we have a baby dedication, where we celebrate your baptism and your marriage. And maybe we need to have a service where we celebrate you're leaving, you're launching. Brentwood Baptist Church wants to be a church that celebrates the number of people we have run off. People who have grown up in the Lord, people who have come to know the Lord, but then have been called and sent out into the world to do His work. Paul and Barnabas had to leave. The whole point is for you to leave, to launch to whatever Christ is calling you to do. So, where is that you need to get to? What is it that you need to be doing? Where do you need to go? The whole point is to leave. I'll give you 60 seconds to think about it, and I'll see you tomorrow.